What's cracking, mi gente? This your boy D once again, coming by, ready to share some love and a little bit of knowledge. First and foremost, before we get this video going, I just want to stop by and say thank you to all of you guys for making those two videos that I posted high views, especially the one with Toto, even though there was a lot of people saying a lot of negative stuff. But you guys know that's the way it is. Sometimes when we report on the things, they don't like it, but when everybody else reported, they're okay with it. It seems like I'm hated, but it is what it is. That's what I'm here for, to communicate, to let you guys know what's been going on the underground, on the world. And with that being said, today was a video that a lot of you guys asked me to do, which is the reaction to Renegade Media video that it did regarding the incident that happened in Pelican Bay, the new so-called details and everything else. So I'm gonna tell you guys, I'm gonna do a reaction towards this video, and I'm also gonna tell you guys how did I knew the individuals that was the victim at this point in time, right? With that said, man, don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. Subscribe to the other channel, Khalifa Rebels. We're also trying to get that channel going, and that's why we're dropping videos here and there so we can get it established, man. As you guys know, like I always tell you, please leave a comment. Let's get the conversation going. I love reading you guys' comments. I reply to a lot of the comments that are positive. I try not to reply to the negative ones, just because it's a waste of time, it's a waste of energy, and people always gonna have something negative to say. With that said, I apologize for the noise. I'm on my way to work a little bit more and then get home. And with that said, I wanted to leave you guys for this weekend with 2 or 3 videos because I won't be available this weekend. So let's get into the reaction of Renegade Media. First and foremost, I want to say something to make it very, very clear. I know that some of you guys got to know me through the interview I did with him, okay? And now I think you guys deserve at least some type of explanation so you guys don't get in your head that I'm like head-on beefing with the guy, okay? And so you also guys can understand that I'm not one of those ungrateful people that when somebody lends a hand doesn't appreciate it. It had nothing to do with that. But I will let you guys know the truth, the facts, and why did I distance myself from the individual, okay? So the reason why I consent to the interview was because when he did that interview regarding the homeboys and Coco issue in the Fed, there were a lot of things that were wrong with the interview. There was a lot of known facts. There was a lot of things that were said that were lies, flat out lies. And most of it, I want to say about 80% of the video regarding that issue were lies that they had done before. The person that he had as a source was actually a so-called homeboy that had just got out the fence, but that person wasn't there in the yard when the incident happened. That's one thing. So he got his source from a third person, right? He ran with the story because the story was a hot commodity of a mess against Emmett. You guys know how those titles go, thumbnails, baits, as they call it, whatever, right? So I hit him up. And I told him, bro, if you're going to speak on the homeboys and if you're going to speak on the hood, at least try to get your facts straight. Don't just put out flat lies. His answer back to me that was, if you got anything that you want to share or you want to clarify, you want to tell the truth or piece of story, you can hit me up and I will do the interview, okay? So I went ahead and I was like, you know what? Freak it. Let's do it. Because I wanted to also make sure that at least people wasn't having the wrong idea why that incident happened, and the fact I wanted to at least give you guys a base on what really took place and why we went to war. It wasn't because of money. It wasn't because we were trying to rebel. It wasn't none of that, as they were trying to make a scene. It wasn't like we couldn't follow orders, none of that. So, but before I did the interview, I contacted the people that were involved in the incident. I know the people that were involved in the incident. Morris Flores is my homeboy Slow Pain. Me and him grew up with each other. That's my road dog. Me and him go way back. That's like my brother. Then my other homeboy, Andrew Guevara, is Peloncito. Me and him go further back. He's my older homeboy. He's one of the older homeboys from the clique, right? So I had direct access to them. I had direct communication with them. They were down here because of the appeal. So I knew what transpired. I had correspondence letters between that they had shot to me, between them and the señores that they approved the pegada. Because the reason why I got those possessions letters was because at that time when I came back from the county, I was still in good with a lot of señores from the states. I was still in good with them. I was still doing stuff for them when I came back from my appeal. So they wanted me to reach out to them to see if there was a way that the homeboys can find a carnal that was willing to listen to the explanation why that went that way it did. So they were trying to fix the situation. They were trying to meddle the situation. And they needed somebody to get some letters to certain individuals. And since I was coming from the state, I was the right person for the job, because I also had contact with some carnales, and they knew I had the means to get letters to other carnales that they need to talk to in the States, because I had just left the yard. I had just left Kern Valley. So they were like, it's a win-win for them. Plus, they knew that when it came to Slow Pain, I was always going to stick my hands in the fire for him, because that's my brother. I got love for him. Me and him go way back. We're more than homeboys. We're a family. I mean, I had done and slept at that fool's house, at his mama's house. I had ate with him. We had stayed there. I took care of his kid. He had come to my house. He had slept under my roof. He had ate my mama food. So it's not a homeboy thing. It's more like a brother thing for us. We're like brothers. To this day, I still speak to him. Unfortunately, he's going through a situation that I can talk about. And because of that, I haven't been able to talk to him, because I don't want to put him in a position where he gets more fucked over than he already is. But before I talk to this dude, Jay, I reach out to them and I asked them, hey bro, I'm out. Here's the situation. Here's what's being said. Is it okay for you guys if I come in there and clear the air and put out there the truth? Maybe people that you guys trying to get the ears to, it will get to their ears and they can look into it, whatever, right? But at least some of the homeboys that were in the streets, some of the homeboys in LA will know the truth. Because a narrative was being pushed that the homeboy decided to take action on himself because he was trying to be a carnal or whatever. So once Coco was on hot water already with some carnales due to him being a tyrant, people were saying that that's the reason why my carnal did it. That he went ahead and jumped the gun because he was trying to take Coco's position, which is a lie. Coco was already in hot water with his own brothers for different things, for his tyranny, for not abusing of power, for being disrespectful. And then there have been a couple times with the señores from the states that reached out to him, and they haven't got an answer back. Like, he kind of ignored him. So they were already angry regardless of that. So I told him, maybe we can still try to see if we can get you some more support so the homeboys don't throw you to the wolf. Because a lot of the homeboys were like, oh, let's just give them up. They're done anyways, la la la. And a lot of homeboys were like, nah, fool, the homeboys did what they were supposed to do. They defended the hood, so we're not giving nobody up. But there was other homeboys that were for the cause. They were like, just give him up. It's just two homeboys. Why would the hood have to suffer? And, you know, the players didn't like it because there was two people from 20th Street that had done that. homeboys that they consider us non 100% MS. You gotta remember, LA always had a thing against 20 streeters because of the way we move, the swag that we have, and everything else, right? I have told you guys about this before, so I won't make it longer. So I got the okay from them. They were like, yeah, go ahead, do your thing. Excuse me. But see, one of my homeboys was like, why you don't say it, why you don't do it on your own? And I was like, because I don't know how. I don't know how to create a channel. I don't know how to start. I don't know how to do none of this stuff. If I could, I would. And the homie was like, you could do it because it will be a good voice for us, and you can speak about the stuff that goes down that is wrong that the homeboys do. Plus, it will be a unique view because they don't have a Marero YouTuber. They don't have an MS YouTuber. So, and plus, you just not just a MS YouTuber. You somebody that been around, that done time. There's the hard knowledge of how the inner works of MS work and all of that good stuff, right? And the homeboys love you, for the respect you. They probably give you a pass as long as there's lines you don't cross. So he put that on my head. He put the idea on my head. And then there was only a couple of people that put the idea on my head as well. Shorty was one of them. She pushed me. She's like, maybe you could do it too. Other people's doing it and their content is whack. Maybe you could do it. Your content would be unique because you used to be from the mess. Mind you, when I came home and I told my homeboys, hey, I don't want to keep doing the same shit. I want to come home. I want to enjoy the rest of my life. I want to see if I can build a family. And I want to move at a peaceful manner in a way that I'm okay to move. I don't want to keep being in both with the hood because these gentas are something else. So I went to the proper channels to get the okay for me to build my channel. I was one, and two, I went to the proper routes and channels and way to get the okay from my homeboys to do the retirement thing. Even though I was young, I was still allowed to do my family thing. So I never dropped out. I never checked in. I never debriefed. I never did none of that stuff. I came home solid, standing on my 2 feet with my chin held high. Not my chin touching my chest, with my chin held high, because I never debriefed. I never DO. I never checked in. I never did none of that stuff. But I decided to come home and try to do the family thing and do my own thing because I already just did 15 years of my life. And I was sick from the health-wise. Plus, I couldn't keep following something out of respect. And the hood was losing my respect. The hood was a lot of stuff that was going on. I didn't agree with it. So I kept bumping heads with a lot of homeboys because of it. And plus, the SUIT program that I was convinced that it was the truth that I can follow. I started seeing a lot. I mean, humongous. A lot of stuff that I didn't believe in and I didn't respect. A lot of homies getting hit behind dirty politics or because somebody want to get a leg up. So I couldn't continue to follow something I respect. So I did what I thought was best for me at the time. So I just retired. I went ahead and minded my business. So that's how me and him, Jay Hands, got together. I did the interview for him. And throughout one of the conversations, he told me, why you don't start your own channel? It would be good because it would be from a unique perspective. I respond to him in a way, I don't know how to do it, bro. I don't know where to even begin. I wouldn't even know where to start. So he was like, I can help you. I can help you out. I can help you build the channel. I will be there. Whatever question you have, I can do that for you. Right? So I came back and I was like, let me think about it. Let me discuss it. So my homeboys already gave me the okay. So I went ahead and asked my lady what she thought, because this was not only going to affect me, it was going to affect them, it was going to affect my family and everything else. So I asked my wife, I said, how you feel? She said, but what's gonna happen when you start speaking about other stuff, things, and this. Um, the homeboys are okay with it, but what about other people? They're gonna feel some type of way. I was like, I'm not running for nothing. I'm only gonna report on some of the stuff that's either documented, like this already happened. I won't talk about active cases. I won't tell on people and shit like that. So we came into an agreement that's why I kept the mask on, because I didn't want my family to get affected by my decisions. Okay? So at the beginning, he kept my interview, he held my interview hostage for probably a month. I don't know what the hell he was doing with it, or if he didn't want to put it because he probably felt like it was going to be a competition against him. But his excuse to me was that he was verifying some of the facts that I had told him regarding some other things. And we had plans on doing a couple more interviews after that. But once I saw the move that he held my interview for something that was already verified, and I just clarified and gave him the facts and I gave him proof of everything, he changed. So once my interview went crazy and everybody was like, oh, you should make your channel, I think he felt like a threat, because every time I would ask him how to do something on YouTube, because I didn't know when I created my channel, I didn't know how to upload the videos, how to create a video. I didn't know nothing, literally nothing. And you guys can tell for the poor quality on my from the beginning of the videos and all how nervous I used to be in front of the camera and everything else. You guys can be able to tell from that. But here's what I started noticing something. Every time he would ask me to verify something for him, every time he would call me and ask him, hey, I heard this, can you see if it's true, la la la, I would verify it with my contacts. Every time he would ask me for a bottle, every time he would ask me for help, I would give him the help. I would gladly answer the phone the first time and give him the help, and we used to talk. Now, every time I used to ask him for help, and every time I used to ask him to verify something for me or to explain something about YouTube, it was always the same thing. Oh, I'm at work. Oh, I'm with my kid. Oh, I don't have the time right now. Let me hit you back up in a day or so. And he never called. So it began like that, and then it began not answering the call, not answering my text for like days. Sometimes it would be a week till he answer my situation. Then I would have to go through a different route to try to figure out what to do, because I didn't know how to upload the things, and I wanted to put a video, want to do something else. I didn't even know the apps that to use to like redact the video and make it presentable, right? So that's how it started. But here what it did it for me. We had one time a conversation about his followers, and I told him, hey bro, how come you talk about all of this, but how come I never seen you talk about the time when you used to use dope? And his answer goes, oh, because war stories, people like those and they think they're funny. But if I start telling how scandalous I was about using dope, how dirty I used to be, I don't think they would like that. I think their perception of me would change. And I was like, but isn't that the point of being real? Isn't that the point of keeping a G, like telling the whole truth, not just what you think is gonna be good for you? Well, his answer was like, I'm just here for the money, bro. I'm not trying to be like or nothing for nobody. So once he said that to me, I was like, man, so all that I'm doing it for the kids, I'm telling the truth, all of that's just a smoke screen. So it kind of threw me off. Then I started seeing a lot of shit that he would do. Then I started finding out that he created some videos with a boxer and people got hurt behind it. And I'm like, so I asked him, I said, why you didn't take it down, bro? Why you allow that person to get hurt? Knowing that will get hurt, you still allow it. He's like, well, I told boxer to take it down, but there was nothing I could do. So that's why I distanced myself from him. But then I start hearing other things from other people. Once I start getting a little traction, other people start telling me, be careful with that fool, be careful with that fool. Then when I see him and Casper doing all this stuff, I was like, man, damn, that's where you're getting all your stories. It's good. But Casper's face seems familiar to me. So I asked him, hey, you know that fool's name or something? He's like, why? You trying to ask him something? Like, ask my source, fool. Like, he felt like I was trying to take that fool away from him. I'm like, nah, It just his face looked familiar. So he's like, nah. I'm like, how you verify that fool? Like you, how you know that fool's telling you the truth? His answer was he shot me all his paperwork. I got all his paperwork. There's nothing in there that say nothing foul. I got all his paperwork. He let me check out all his paperwork. When he said all his paperwork, meaning that he shot him every single thing. So what broke the camel's back was when Casper got put on out for that incident that took place when he was young, when he was out there running with the senores. He came out and washed his hands and said that he didn't know nothing. So I called one of the homies that used to do videos with you guys. I will have him do a live one of this day with me and put it out there and see if it can, so you guys can see it, verify that I'm not lying. I told the homie, because he was like, hey, you seen this fool? Yeah, I seen that video, fool. I said, look, I give about a day or two until this fool comes out and say this. And I told the homie my exact words was this. Oh, unfortunately, I'm going to have to take it down, the video from Casper, and I'm going to have to put a distance to myself because his family got on me, and due to for respect out of his family, I'm going to take all the videos down because they're going through some stuff. So out of respect, I'm going to do it, and then I'm going to do my own investigation. The next day, he came out and said the exact words that I had told the homie that he would say, the exact words. And I still got the message when the homie was like, man, fool, you were right. That fool said it script. I said, I know his tactics, fool. And gratefully, one person that saw his snake ways from the bear jump was my wife. She was like, I don't like him. I don't like the way he does you. When he needs something from you, you answer, you do this research, you get back. When you need something for him or help or something else, he doesn't answer. He leave you on the shine for weeks, and then whenever he fucking feels like, he calls you back and he gives you a half-ass answer. Or he tells you, look it up in YouTube, fool, everything is there. So if somebody's trying to help you build something and they don't know how to build the house, and you tell them, hey, start building it, and if you run into a problem, call me, I'll be there to help you. That means that if you call me, that you get hit a pipe and you need my help, I'm going to go there and try to fix the pipe for you, because that's just the manly way. That's what a man does. If I give you my word, my palabra, that I'm going to be there if you run into a problem, and when you call me, I'm nowhere to be found, you're worrying shit. So I started putting my distance behind after the incident with Casper. I started putting it. Excuse me. So I called him up one day after the incident with Casper. I was like, hey, fool, so what the hell? What you going to do? He's like, man, the internet's trying to cancel me, bro. They're trying to do me dirty. They act like I knew all this stuff. I knew some of it, but I didn't know all of it. Now I have to see. I got to put distance between me and this fool so my channel doesn't get cancel, la la la. All he cared was about his channel and his money. He didn't care about how the dude was doing, how his family was doing. He didn't care about his so-called friend, his so-called buddy he had called him many times in life was getting massacred, character assassinated over there. He didn't give a shit about none of that. Then what did it for me, I was like, damn, fool, but didn't you tell me you had all that fool's paperwork? He's like, yeah, but I don't remember reading none of that. I'm like, how you have somebody's paper, but you don't remember reading that part? He's like, nah, he didn't tell me, but he shot you all his paperwork. He's like, I don't be going through every single line for you. Like, sometimes when people ask me to the interview, I don't be verifying, checking you. And then he goes and say, just like you, I don't know what you have in your past. So I told him, man, bro, you been knocked that shit off and confused me with nobody like that, homie. You know my past, G. My homeboys, I told you about what the fuck I got going on, dog. You have people, my homeboys calling Little One, even call him, asking them to tell me, supposedly, to take some of the videos down, and I keep saying that he would got homies hurt because of that. He was talking to Little One, and Little One sent that message for me saying, hey, tell him I want to talk to him, bro, because he's saying a lot of stuff, and I just want to make sure that that's not true, la la la. Because of that, I start putting a distance, and because of other things. Then I start seeing the way his channel was going. And that's what did it for me when I'm cool. He started telling on people on live, on videos. He started saying more that there was need to say. He didn't have no respect for nobody. He didn't care about the consequence. He didn't give a shit about nothing else. All he cared about was the back, getting to the money. And that's what did it for me. When he started telling all the active Southerners got my channel canceled, that's why I didn't get my plaque. Homie, why you only blame the homies, huh? Why you only feeling like you have to blame the homies because they didn't do it? You talking about you don't report channels. When Conejo pull up the stuff, you had to Jaina report his channel. But you wasn't man enough to report it yourself, so you had her do it. You know what I'm saying? So come on, man. And then when he started telling on people and flat out telling on the videos he was doing, he was burning his sources. That's how bad it was. He was literally saying things that his sources would tell him. And it was like, whoa, I put two and two together who his source was a couple times from just hearing him. So imagine if the people inside or outside couldn't done the same. They probably did. So he burned a lot of homies. He burned a lot of sources just because he didn't give a shit about them. He's like, oh, I don't do that to sources. I don't do it. Come on, man. You did that. Just like the reaction of this video. And why I went into a back detail, because I wanted you guys know why I start putting myself away for. Because he started telling on people and flat out snitching. He might not have seen that way, but he was. You guys can, that he was flat out snitching, speaking on people when they had active cases. Then he went as far as to trying to massacre people for the things, for their stuff they were doing, assassinated their characters. Then what did it for me was he did a video on MS when two little homies from Texas raped a girl, which is disgusting. They're fucking pieces of shit. They're garbage to me. If homies does that shit to me, they're less than basura. They're like the worst scum of the air. I fucking hate it, and I would have put him on blast. But here's what got me angry about that video. He goes and said, "Oh, I blame the M for them because the M letting these dudes do what they want to do. If they are under their control, they should control them. But I don't want to hear no more about, oh, that's them, that's not us. If you're a mess, all of you guys are pieces of shit. All of you guys are basuras because you guys allowing these dudes to do this. And the M are rapists too, and the MS are a bunch of garbage too because he's fucking with this dude. So if you messing with these dudes, you're a part of them, or they're a representation of you, you're a basura too." So in my head, I'm like, so you blaming all of them as because of what two individuals that came from a country, Honduras, that which didn't have nothing to do with us, didn't have no pledges, didn't have no guidance, went and did this disgusting, despicable fucking thing, which I hope they can burn and they can cut their fucking weenie off, whatever, because I hate rapists. I fucking detest rapists and rats. I hate them with a passion. So he said, if you're from the mess, you just as garbage as they are. You just as rapists as they are. So you put us all in the category because of two people. But when the norteños do something else, you don't like them to put you in the same category. You were like, oh, just because when he said about the writers, when he used to be a writer, he said they had a different outlook on us, Tecatos, so fucking doped out. So I wanted to change that narrative because not all of us was like that. Oh, you didn't like that, huh? You didn't like when people used to put you in the same bucket as them, being tweaked out ass fools, straight fucking Tecatos and straight fucking tweakers. You didn't like that one because they put you in the same pedestal as them. But you were doing the same thing to other people. That's when I was, fucked up for. And then he started telling on people in the cases. That's what did it. In this case recently, the thing that this case recently, he was so adamant and so happy that he had got a hold of Jason Dorn that he didn't even realize he was exposing who the information was coming from. He said, yeah, I got a hold of the write-up. I got a hold of the IGI investigation. As soon as I heard that there was an opening for me to find out the truth, I went at it. I started making calls. I started promising stuff. I started trying to figure out what to do so I could get a comment. So as soon as he figured out that Jason Dawn had checked in, tapped in, he started making phone calls to trying to get him to tell him the truth. And he probably went over there and said, like, oh, they did me like that too, bro. I know how you feeling. I know the pain. So that's the reason why I'm reaching out to you, because I wanted to see if you're willing to tell your story, because they did me dirty too. No, they didn't do you dirty. You did yourself dirty because you were doing the shit that was wrong. And then in the video, to kill it off, He goes, oh, I wouldn't have never done what the other norteños did if that would have happened to me and I would have seen one of my boys getting hit. I would have jumped. No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. Because you would follow under enough instructions. You would, everything that you did out of state was for instruction. Afterwards that you lost contact with one or two people, you start freelancing because you didn't know what to do. You were lost. If your daddy wasn't holding your hand, Mando, if your daddy Mando, well, I won't say it like that because he's now dead, so I won't speak ill of the dead. But if Mando and all the carnales wasn't guiding you and telling you what to do, you didn't know what to do, so you start freelancing, and that's what ended your career because you didn't have no brain to think for yourself. So don't come in here and saying, "Oh, I would have done this, I wouldn't done that. I don't care about the repercussions," because you wouldn't have done that. Look at the situation that put you on the half and the jump. Because you didn't know who to send the money to, because the Fed will tell you one thing, the states will tell you another thing. Since you didn't know what to do, you decide, I'm not doing it because I'm confused. I'm like a child that's one arm is getting pulled this way, the other getting pulled this way, and they're both tugging at me. I'm like a stupid dumb kid that don't know what to do. That's what you have said many times and many times over because you were supposedly freelance. That's why they hate you. Because you didn't have a bone to think for yourself, you fucking retarded ass lame. So you telling people that, oh, I would have jumped for my boy, I would have never done this. Like, I don't know how the NF could do this, they wouldn't jump a word. So you were vouching for violence to go off, knowing how dangerous that violence and the riots go when the Sureños and Norteños go at it. You were actually advocating for these fools to go to war again. And I'm not defending the N or the M. I'm not defending any of them. I'm just saying, you know the dangers that cause. And there's a bunch of kids that are getting there just off the bus, 18, 20 years old, that haven't been properly abducted and educated on warfare. But yeah, you are advocating for these people to go to war for one person that did that to himself. If he was such a high-ranking person, and I know I did time with him, if it's the one that I did time with, I know who he is. It's a tall black dude that has a big-ass 14 of his chicks, and he had a big-ass Wogga burr in the back. If that's the same black, because he was the only black northerner there with a status at that time when I was in Pelican Bay. And the reason why I think it's him, if that's his, I don't remember his name. I think his name was Bolivar or Grimy, but I couldn't remember because it's been so long since I've seen him. But if that's him, the dude was educated. He been around, so he knew the consequence of going off the rails and the respecting, because you guys would have done the same thing. Let's change shoes. Let's say one of the homies for not knowing where they got drunk or where they got disrespecting, where they started saying fuck busters, fuck chavala, going all of that, right? You guys would have asked for the same thing. You guys would have approached us. You guys would have cried your asses out and be like, hey, he gotta go. He's disrespecting the program, blah, blah, blah. And the homies would have took care of it. You know why? Because the homies were not gonna allow the end of hostilities to get messed over behind that. Do I agree with the end of hostility? Hell no, I don't agree with it. I said it because they're using and abusing homies and discard it. But would I willingly, fastly throw somebody under the bus so he can get murdered? Hell nah. But if it come down to us taking care of our people instead of, or you guys touching our people, we're gonna choose us before you guys. But you can be mad at the Southerners for taking care of business. You guys were cowards enough. You guys didn't want to take care of it. You guys know if it was a high-ranking man like Cali Media said, which Cali Media put it plain and simple when he did the reaction to your video, he did that to himself. If he couldn't handle his liquor and he started yelling disrespectful fact, he knew of the bad in the morning when that happened. Let's say, hypothetically speaking, he didn't remember. I bet you he told him that he did some stupid shit. So he was aware that he messed up. He was aware that he had something coming. Because he broke the protocol that would have been put in place so people couldn't get hurt. I'd rather see one person hurt than see 20, 40 homies hurt and mother crying because of one stupid mistake that somebody that was drunk and couldn't handle his liquor made. If you can handle your liquor, then don't drink, homie. Simple as that. Don't fucking drink. If you cannot handle your dope, don't drink, because you guys would have done the same thing. If the homie would have come out of pocket, you guys would have gone and cried to the big homies. Because I've been in the yard with you fools, with the Northerners. When sometimes a homie come out of pocket, you guys instantly ride and kite to the fucking people in charge. Hey, homie, what's up? All that was disrespectful. You guys are gonna handle it. What? Trying to give homies ultimate. And sometimes it backfire on you guys because you guys don't know how to talk to people. You guys don't know how to ask people, hey, your homie was being disrespectful. Hey, we were just wondering you guys are going to be able to take care of it. No, but soon as you guys get into position, your huevos go all the way to the throat. Hey, homie, check it out. Your homeboy was being disrespectful until we need you to handle that. We need you to handle that? That's not words you use when you use improper channels to communicate from one car to another. And I was told that. They teach me that in the back, homie. When I was in Pelican Bay, they taught us that. In order, when you're dealing with another race, you try to do the most peacefully and you try to speak to people like a man, because you know that if you respect that man as a man, that man is going to have to take action. It doesn't matter if it's a Crip, blood, white, paisa, it doesn't matter, just as a man. If you're a representative of a certain organization and you're in the yard sitting on a position, you bet your ass you better know how to handle your mouth. Because your mouth can get people in the rig. His mouth got himself in the rig. I'm not saying it was fair for them to do what they did to the kid, because I don't like people seeing hurt. But would I rather have seen 40, 50 homies hurt over one dummy that couldn't handle his liquor? Hey, sorry to say, but you put yourself in that predicament, homie. We got to take our licks, homie. When I got hit, dog, I didn't go and run to talk to my homeboys, hey, back me up. No. I took my lickings and I went to the yard when they released me to the yard. Because I knew I had messed up. And when they came the second time, I took my lickings like a man. Because I knew what it was. I didn't run, I didn't check in, I didn't do none of that. But because I knew I had put myself in that predicament from the moment I decided to pull out on the homie when it was supposed to be just a fucking boo-bop. I pulled down the homie because I didn't know who they were. Because the mistake was the communication got mixed up between the homeboys and the shooters. They should have sent homeboys instead of sending enemies for a DP. They had to do with a barrio issue. So what happened? The situation escalated to a worse thing that could happen. Homies getting stabbing against homies when nobody knew they were supposed to be doing that. So who got in trouble? The people that send those shooters to me without consulting with the people in the yard. They got in trouble, not me. But I also had something coming, the repercussions for me pulling out the homies and hitting them. I had it to do with the repercussions. So I took my second wound lickings. Took it like a man and like, hey, it is what it is, homies, check it out. I know I wasn't supposed to pull out on the homies, supposed to hit the homies, but hey, they approached me in an aggressive manner, so I did what I was supposed to do as a man. But you are not ready saying I would have went to war. So you would have took you said you many times I said that you care about the norteño, you took care of the norteño, you make sure that they're okay, that was your loved ones, that were your brothers, that all that matter to you, their safety and the concern. But now you're contradicting yourself when you're saying that you would have went to war by defending this dude because you couldn't have stand the homies putting in work on one of your boys when you know they were wrong. Yeah, you can say, hey, if it was wrong, he's wrong. I jumped and I deal with the consequence later. Yes, sometimes we take that stand because I've been there. We've done that before. I took that stand before, but then I dealt with the consequence later. But because the homie was wrongly accused and wrongly dealt with, if that's the case, if he's being wrongly dealt with and he's being wrongfully accused, yeah, fuck it, we're gonna back him up. But if you know that that's your fault and you know that that's what you have, hey homie, what the hell? We're all grown men in here. We all dictate our own life. I'm not saying that Jason Darn deserved what happened to him, point period blank, because nobody deserves to die over some stupidity war that's going on now. That's the reason why I don't agree with this peace treaty, because They getting richer and benefiting. The homies are dying. 59 deaths has CDC have just this year alone. I don't agree with the things that MR is doing. I don't agree with none of that stuff. But if it comes down to sacrificing 10 of my homeboys and sacrificing one of my homeboys when he's wrong, hey, let him take his lickings, homie, because he's wrong. If he was such a high standard norteño, they've been educated on northern instruction education, norteño in the program and all of that. He had a higher ranking norteño as you claim he was because you have the paperwork. So how you got the paperwork? You telling me he sent you the paperwork? You were like, oh, I went through. IGI sent me this. I mean, you sound like a straight paying federal informant, homie. Talking about I got the paper said this. So how did they know he was a high ranking man? The only explanation, yeah, homies do tell on each other in the yard. We've been past that. We acknowledge that. The homies drop kind on each other most of the time when they're fucking politicking against each other. They do that. It happens. But what you're doing is you inciting violence. You say, oh, I would have jumped in. You trying to get the norteños to still feel some type of way because he committed a mistake and he didn't know how to deal with it. So he went back to the yard. He saw the war in a war, so he felt betrayed. He went back. You think that they were going to risk the money they're making and the anti-hostility because of him? No, we seen that. We established already that the M members don't care about the soldiers. If you're not a carnal of them, they don't give a shit about you. We established that already. The M would have done exactly the same thing. They would have thrown the homie under their bus. Let him get lit up. But the difference is there would have been homies ready to raise their hands to get him hit. You guys don't have the huevos to do shit like that. Unless it's being forced upon you guys, the Northerners don't raise their hands and be like, hey, we know he fucked up. Let us deal with it, big homie. No, you guys couldn't even approach it because some of you guys that haven't been around these people, you guys see them as gods. They're just men just like us, man. And that's the reason why I stopped fucking with him. I wanted to tell you guys the reason why, and I wanted to do this reaction because I'm up to the head. Bro, you are acting like a straight cop in those videos. And you don't respond to the videos. If you want to respond, you still got my number. You can hit me up, bro. If you feel some type of way about what I just said, you can hit me up anytime. But stop lying to the people that are saying you're doing it for the kids, you're doing it for the youth, you're doing it for this. Nah, you're doing it for yourself. You're trying to better for yourself. The bag is good for you. You clickbait a lot of people. You putting information that's coming from the source directly, but you don't even know how to sugarcoat it to the point where at least your sources is somehow protected, bro. You just blindly put it out there. You don't care about that. That's what gets me angry, bro, that you don't protect your sources. You put them out there and fuck if they get hurt. You don't have no respect, no type of consideration for them. They're helping you make money. The least you can owe them is trying to protect them, bro. And you telling on people blindly on fucking YouTube, that's some other ass shit, homie. That's why I pull back for him, because I don't fuck with a lot of things that you're doing. You decided to take your channel a whole different fucking route, bro. Yeah, we all talk about the M and we're gonna talk about, but I had never seen you make a bunch of NF videos. Why you don't make videos about the NF? You know a lot about the education, you know what's going on. The first video I seen you going in, it was with the Marrocha video. But you always speaking on the M, the Sureños days, the M, the Sureños that because you know your own orders won't even give you that information. Because of the type of way you move. But I want to let you guys know, man, why was the reason that I have been criticism of him lately more than anything is because I don't agree with the shit that he's doing. In that video, like Media Cali said, the OG from Cali Media said, from Maravilla, I don't know his name, I just know him as that. He did a good reaction, and I wanted to give my 2 cents and why I agree with him and why I stopped fucking with this dude because of the shit that he was doing, man. Do I have a personal problem where I would go look for that fool? No, I just don't. I just rather just put this distance in between me and him. But if we ever see each other, we feel some type of way. Hey, it is what it is. I'm not running. I'm still in California. With that being said, man, I hope you guys like this video. I hope you guys enjoy it. You guys know I don't really do videos like this because I don't like to create a hostile YouTube environment, like a beefing situation. But I wanted to say my 2 cents regarding these videos, man. With that said, don't forget to love your loved ones, man. Be kind to one another. Tell your loved ones you love them because tomorrow is never promised. Let's get it, mi gente.